Have you ever wondered about the origins of space exploration? Where did the giant rockets that take us to the moon and beyond come from? The story is complex, and a huge piece of it starts not with a launch to the stars, but with a weapon of war. The V-2 rocket. Let's travel back in time to 1944. In the midst of World War II, Germany is developing a revolutionary and terrifying piece of technology. It's officially called the Aggregate 4, or A4, but history will remember it by its propaganda name, Vergeltungswaffe 2, or Vengeance Weapon 2, the V-2. This wasn't just another bomb. The V-2 was the world's first long-range guided ballistic missile. Imagine this: a 46-foot-tall, liquid-fueled rocket capable of reaching speeds over 3,000 miles per hour and soaring to the very edge of space before crashing down on its target. It was a technological marvel, far ahead of its time. When it launched, it was silent, breaking the sound barrier on its way up. People in target cities like London or Antwerp would hear a massive explosion first, and only then would the sound of the rocket's approach catch up. It was a weapon designed not just for destruction, but for psychological terror. The mastermind behind this incredible, yet devastating invention was a brilliant, ambitious, and controversial German aerospace engineer named Wernher von Braun. From a young age, von Braun was obsessed with spaceflight. He dreamt of rockets that could carry humans to other planets. He joined a German amateur rocket group in the late 1920s, and his genius was quickly recognized. However, in Nazi Germany, the only way to get significant funding for rocketry was through the military. So, von Braun and his team began working for the German army. They were given a top-secret research facility at a place called Peenemünde on the Baltic coast. It was here, with immense resources, that they developed the V-2. But the story has a much darker side. To build these thousands of rockets, the Nazi regime used forced labor. Tens of thousands of prisoners from concentration camps were forced to work in horrific conditions in underground factories, like the infamous Middle. Many more people died building the V-2S than were killed by them as a weapon. It's a grim, undeniable part of the rocket's legacy. By 1944, the V-2 attacks were in full swing. From launch sites in occupied Europe, these rockets rained down on Allied cities. While they were technologically advanced, they weren't very accurate. They couldn't be aimed at specific military targets, so they were primarily used against large civilian areas. The goal was to break the morale of the Allied population. But as the war drew to a close in 1945, the story of the V-2 and Wernher von Braun took another dramatic turn. With the German war machine collapsing, von Braun and his top scientists faced a choice. They decided to surrender to the Americans, not the Soviets. They saw this as their best chance to continue their rocketry work, hopefully for its original purpose: space exploration. They packed up tons of documents and plans and made their way to the advancing American forces. This move, known as Operation Paperclip, brought von Braun and over 1,600 other German scientists, technicians, and engineers to the United States. And this is where the V-2's legacy transforms. The very technology designed as a weapon of war became the foundation of the American space program. Wernher von Braun, once the creator of the V-2, went on to become the chief architect of the Saturn V rocket. That's the rocket that, just 25 years after the V-2 attacks, would successfully carry the Apollo astronauts to the moon. So, the next time you see a rocket launch, remember its complex history. It's a story of incredible scientific achievement, moral compromise, and the strange, winding path of technology. From a weapon of vengeance in 1944 to humanity's greatest adventure. Thanks for watching. If you found this story fascinating, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the history of science and technology. See you next time.